gastrointestinal area. Right now it's everywhere. But when we first started talking about it, it was in my stomach and in my gastrointestinal area.
Okay, and it's spreading. We better nail it quickly.
Way in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
And what number is it in your stomach? Let's pick your stomach
10.
to start with. It's 10.
Definitely
Okay.
10.
Okay. And so you'll tell us, just talk to us about this incident while you tap, and then every once in a while I'll just have you say, "And I deeply and completely accept myself."
Okay.
And also, at some point, if you need it, I may want to just tap on you as well.
Okay.
Is it okay if I were to tap on you? So ask people. Don't just assume you can tap on them. If you're a psychotherapist and you're in your practice in California, you aren't actually allowed to tap on them. So make sure you're not exceeding your licensure with whatever it is, whatever state it is. And make sure you have permission if you can tap on the person, that you ask them first. You don't just assume you can go in there. Because some people may find tapping intrusive. They may be fine tapping themselves, but say she was, say I look like her dad. And suddenly I'm over there, and this is a physical attack, and here I am, lunging for it with the best of intentions to tap on her. So you've got to think about things like this when you are working with people. So you always get permission, and you keep checking in with them if what you're doing is okay. So, sorry for the interruption. I just want to make sure we had that point. So good. So we'll just start over here and just talk about it. Just tap along with me.
Okay. I'd like to just preface this with, I grew up in a home where there was a lot of domestic violence. When I was about 7 years old, my mom left my dad because of it. Thank God. It was her gift to us. They had lived apart. They weren't yet divorced, but they lived apart from 7 to 11, was that 4 years? And so we were living safely in our apartment, and my mom had a boyfriend at the time, and he was at our house. He was sitting on the floor. No, my mom was sitting on the floor, and her boyfriend was sitting on the couch, and she'd had a headache, so he was brushing her hair, and we were all watching a show together. And there was a knock at our back door, and a loud knock. And before we could get to the door to open it, there was a fist. My dad's fist went through the back door window, and he opened the door. And at first, we saw it was him, and we were happy to see him because we hadn't seen him in a long time. And he was with my Uncle Bill. And when he walked into the living room, he saw my mom sitting on the floor with her boyfriend.
Valerie, taps on the other points now. Start tapping around your eyes. Yeah. So the other points here too. Just tap there. If I just pause for a second, just tap the other points so that you don't lose the thread. So just over here on the side of your eyes.
My hands are icy cold.
And just say, I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, under your eyes. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, under your nose. Under your mouth. Collarbone points. Okay, and under your arms. And then while you're talking to us and tapping, just go ahead and tap all your finger points. So just leave the face points off for the time being. So just go ahead and pick up with what you were saying. So you're with your Uncle Bill.
So my
You're happy
dad,
to see him.
my dad and we were happy to see them. And then my dad and my Uncle Bill walked into the living room, and my dad saw my mom with her boyfriend, and he punched my mom's boyfriend in between his forehead, and there was blood spilling everywhere. And he jumped up and ran into the bathroom, and my mom started screaming at my dad. And then my dad grabbed my sister and I and took us outside, and my mom was screaming at him to bring us back, and I was crying and my sister was crying, and I pooped my pants. I had diarrhea, and I had just a lot of anxiety in my stomach, a lot of cramping and pain in my stomach. And I was screaming because I wanted to go back to my house. I wanted to be with my mom. I didn't want to be with my dad. And he wouldn't let us go back. And he took us. He wouldn't take us back. He took us in his truck and made us go back. He made us go to his house. And I was horrified. I didn't know if I would ever see my mom again. I didn't know where my brother was. He wasn't with us. And I didn't like my mom's boyfriend, but I didn't want him to be hurt, and I was upset about him being hurt.
To tap this point over here, I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
So just leave it at that for the time being, Valerie, and just take a couple of deep breaths, relax. Just feel, settle into your body and tell us how your stomach feels.
It's burning. My stomach's burning.
Your stomach's what?
It's burning.
Burning.
It burns. It was down here, now it's burning up here. It moved.
So it was down here, lower first, now it's
Now it's up here.
higher, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 10? Is it a different number?
No, it's about an 8.
Okay, it's a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so how did the story end? What was the end of the story?
Wait, I don't remember. I at some point we went back to my mom's house. She came and got us. I don't know how long we were there. I hated being there. I didn't like my dad's girlfriend. It wasn't a safe place to be, and I just don't remember. I just know at some point I went back home. So I don't know how long we were there. I don't know how it happened that we went back home, but we did get back home.
How long were you at your dad's house for?
I don't remember how long.
Like days, hours, months?
Days, several days. At least several days. At least several days.
It was a scary place to be.
It was awful. It was mean. It was a mean place to be. There was no love there. No love.
And there was love in your mom's house?
Yes.
So just say, I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
In the places where there are love.
In the places where there are love.
And in the places where there's meanness.
And
in the places where there is meanness.
And in the places where there's meanness.
Yes. I accept the places of love within me.
I accept the places of love within me.
And I accept the places of meanness within me.
I accept the places of meanness within me.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept my life just the way it is.
I deeply and completely accept my life the way it is.
I've done the best I knew how.
I've done the best I knew how.
I've done a pretty good job.
I've done a pretty good job.
Considering how awful it was back then.
Considering how awful it was back then.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I'm safe now.
I am safe now.
And I send love back in time to little Valerie. It's okay, don't say anything. Just sit there and tap. That's fine. Just go ahead and tap your eye, face points again. Just don't say anything. Just sit there and just feel what you're feeling. Just love little Valerie. I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Little Valerie got hurt
Little Valerie got hurt
a long time ago,
a long time ago.
and big Valerie still carries the scars.
And big Valerie still carries the scars.
I'm sorry little Valerie got hurt.
I'm sorry little Valerie got hurt.
I'm sorry her dad was so mean.
I'm sorry her dad was so mean.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
And I accept the little Valerie within me,
And I accept little Valerie within me,
who's still hurting so much.
who's still hurting so much.
Let's give her some love.
Let's give her some love.
Well, let's just imagine ourselves back there telling her everything's okay.
Let's imagine telling her everything's okay.
And just put yourself back in time, Valerie. Just imagine yourself back there in the room. You're just hovering in the corner there. Your big self is saying to her, you know, look, here I am. I survived.
You want me to say it?
No, just imagine it. Just comfort her. Comfort little Valerie however you can. Travel back in time and just... She probably never was able, given the safety, to feel her feelings, how terrible it was for her. She had to stuff all that stuff down in there. Now it's a wonderful time for us to love her and give her a safe space to just be. Okay, now tap the other points on your face, on your hands. Keep on going. Tap your collarbone point. Is it okay if I tap on you? Okay. So you just sit there, just put your hands on your lap and just sit there quietly. Tap on you. Everyone in the room to say out loud, everyone say, I am Valerie.
I am Valerie.
I am little Valerie.
I am little Valerie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
There's love in the world,
There's love in the world,
even when I don't think there is.
even when I don't think there is.
With all these mean people
All these mean people
who I can't escape from,
I can't escape from.
I still love and accept myself.
I still love and accept myself.
Little Valerie is safe.
Little Valerie is safe.
Big Valerie is safe.
Big Valerie is safe.
I love and accept myself
I love and accept myself.
just the way I am
Just the way I am.
and just the way I am not.
And just the way I am not.
I've held this pain so long.
I've held this pain so long.
I accept myself just the way I am.
I accept myself just the way I am.
I accept myself with all this pain.
I accept myself with all this pain.
Maybe the pain will go away,
Maybe the pain will go away,
and maybe it won't.
and maybe it won't.
I totally accept myself either way.
I totally accept myself either way.
I'm allowed to feel this way.
I'm allowed to feel this way.
I've held this inside me for so long.
I've held this inside me for so long.
And now I'm allowing myself to feel it.
And now I'm allowing myself to feel it.
I am Valerie.
I am Valerie.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Okay, just keep on tapping. Tap your eye points. Tap your torso points. Tap your hand points. Say again, I am Valerie.
I am Valerie.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I have strength now I didn't have back then.
I have strength now I didn't have back then.
I have resources now I didn't have back then.
I have resources now I didn't have back then.
I can go back to little Valerie
I can go back to little Valerie
and tell her she's safe.
and tell her she's safe.
Tell her that she's okay.
Tell her she's okay.
None of this is her fault.
None of this is her fault.
It's just the crazy people around her.
Just the crazy people around her.
She'll grow up to be this wonderful human being.
She'll grow up to be this wonderful human being.
She'll be safe.
She'll be safe.
So you just again, just sit there for a moment and feel your body and just let your feelings be however they are. There's also no need to rush ourselves if we're feeling something. And maybe Valerie's never let herself feel this full emotion. I don't know if that's true or not, but now she's with safe, loving people, and we're letting all the grief that's just been stored because there was no place for it. So it's uncomfortable for us to to feel this, and we want to sort of push it away. But this is the chance for it all to shift and process and heal, so that all that emotional charge can dissipate and work itself out. So this is a time to love yourself and let yourself just be in that space and not push yourself to get through it quickly or at all. Maybe Valerie will have to come back here and do this a few times before that energy, that trap, that stored grief is all processed. So just giving ourselves permission to feel rather than all the times we were suppressed as kids and we couldn't feel it or it was too dangerous to feel. So, how are you doing at the moment, Valerie?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
How are you feeling in your body?
Good. Wonderful. Relief. I'm back in my body again.
Welcome.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you.
How does it feel to be back in your body again? How do you know? What has changed for you? How do you feel yourself shifting?
Peace. Calm. I don't feel anxious. Strong. Just peace.
What shifted for you when you were doing that process?
Feeling afraid, feeling vulnerable, not feeling out of control of my life shifted. I have been feeling so out of control for my whole life. I have felt out of control, and I was out of control, but I'm not out of control anymore. I do control my life. So, and just recognizing that I can love myself in spite of all that's happened. I can love myself. I haven't done a very good job of that. I take care of everybody else, but I don't take care of me.
Right. Well, you can make it up to yourself. Start making it up to yourself.
I have a little bit of time to do that, hopefully.
How's your body feeling?
Calm.
What number are you over here?
A 0.
Okay. What number are you over here?
0.
Down to 0 there.
Yeah, I'm calm.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you to do a difficult thing now, and I'm going to ask you to tell the story again and see how you're shifting in your body. If you need to start tapping again, go ahead and do it. But just start with you're watching TV as a little girl, and your mom's boyfriend's brushing her hair. So just tell the story.
Okay.
But actually, just hold the mic. Just have someone else hold the mic if your arm's getting tired, so we can. Okay.
Oh, I thought you wanted
Want
to give
to
it to me.
make sure you have a tapping
Okay,
hand
okay.
for you if you need to tap some more. So.
Okay.
So don't tap, but just
Oh,
to see if
okay.
you're, because you may still have parts to process. So let's give you a chance to do
Okay.
that if you
Okay.
need to.
There was, my mom and her boyfriend and my brother and sister and I were watching a show on TV. And there was a knock at the back door, and we jumped up. I don't know if all of us, or the kids, jumped up to go to the door. And before we could open the door, the window broke, and my dad opened the door through the broken window, and my Uncle Bill and my dad came through the back door and walked into the living room. We were happy to see them at first, excited. We knew my mom wouldn't be happy to see my dad, but we were excited to see him. And then my dad looked over and saw my mom with her boyfriend and punched her boyfriend in the forehead, and he jumped up off the couch because there was blood everywhere. And at first I ran into the bathroom with him because he was bleeding and I was worried about him being hurt. And then my mom was yelling at my dad and telling him to get out of our house. And then my dad grabbed my sister and myself and took us out to the courtyard near our apartment complex. And my mom was yelling at my dad to bring us back. She was standing in the door, crying and screaming to bring us back, telling us to get back there, but we couldn't leave because he had grabbed our hands.
Just to interrupt you, Valerie. Now it looks to me as though you're having feeling a bit more emotional stuff now. Talking about your mom being in the doorway, that seemed to be a heightened emotional moment for you. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm.
So again, what number is your body? Think about your mom in the doorway.
That would be a 5.
Okay. Where in your body do you feel the 5?
Right here.
Okay. So let's go ahead and tap on that. So my mom was in the doorway screaming.
My mom is in the doorway screaming for my dad to let us, to take us back, and to leave us alone. And my dad was screaming back at her, and there was just a lot of screaming, and we were crying, and I was saying, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy, don't do this, Daddy. Don't do this." And then, I don't remember what happened after that. We were in my dad's truck. And then we were at his house.
Tap your other points, Valerie, in your face. Right. Good.
And I was scared. My stomach hurt.
And Your
I
nose.
didn't know what happened to my mom.
And your mouth. Okay, let's rewind the tape again, memory tape, to your mom being in the doorway and screaming to your dad to bring you back. So let's start telling the story again there.
Okay. My dad grabbed my sister and I and took us out to the courtyard, and my mom ran after him and was screaming at him to bring us back. And she was telling us to come back, but we couldn't let go of my dad's hand. She was crying and screaming at him to bring us back and to get out, go. Told us to come back. And I said, we can't come back. Can't come back. I wanted to go back. My mom was shaking. Dad was a monster. We had no control.
Valerie, you wanted to open your eyes now. Just tap along with me on a few things. So tap over here on this part of your body over here. What were you feeling just when your eyes were closed a moment ago?
There was nothing I could do about it. I was helpless. I couldn't go back. I wanted to. I know my mom wanted us to. But she couldn't do anything about it either. I was scared. I was very scared. Afraid I would never see my mom again. I didn't know what my dad was doing. He hurt us a lot. A lot.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Sometimes people hurt you.
Sometimes people hurt me.
Sometimes you want to go back to the place of love.
And sometimes I'm going to go back to the place of love.
And sometimes you can't go back there.
And sometimes I can't go back there.
You get dragged into the scary place by scary people, by mean people.
I get dragged into a scary place by mean people.
Who are out of control.
Who are out of control.
Out of control.
Out of control.
Mean people.
Mean people.
Out of control.
Out of control.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Just the way I am.
Just the way I am.
And just the way I am not.
And just the way I am not.
There are mean, scary people.
There are mean, scary people.
And I'm not one of them.
And I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them.
Anyone think that Valerie is mean and scary?
I'm not.
Okay, so just take a couple more breaths, and then check back in with your solar plexus over here, your chest, and see what number you are.
Just free. It's just free.
Now, my suspicion is you still have more work to do on this. We aren't going to do any more work on it now, but I would just tell the story, go tell it to your friends this evening after we get done, tell it later on during the week, and tell it in tap until there's just no more energy left behind that incident. And it looks to me as though you're really good at discharging these things. So once you actually bring them into your consciousness and tap, you actually shift them very, 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 very rapidly. I mean, that's a huge. I mean, I can't even imagine a trauma like that. But you're shifting the emotional intensity very, very rapidly. So I think your system is very good at processing this stuff, and if you just keep on processing it, that you'll eventually feel freer and freer and freer and lighter and lighter and lighter around it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can do that, or if that sounds right to you, but
Yeah. That's
yeah.
good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this technique too, of going back and talking to our little selves, is a great one, because you can tell when I said go back to little Valerie, that's when the real energy came for her. And she's an adult, she can take care of herself, but when she was back in the helpless little self, that's when all the anguish came up. And that's what you can address with EFT, and just keep on tapping until you shift it.
I never felt like I had anyone to take care of me until that moment. I never felt like I had anyone to take care of me until that moment. Just then.
Right. And letting your little self see your big self and see, oh, she made it through.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And telling your little self there is a big self at the other end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she's okay, and she can be there.
My head has known that for a long time.
Right.
But my body didn't know that. And I've never had a visual of me taking care of me, a big person taking care of the little me. And I have a visual now of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Use it often.
Yeah.
And use to clean up those old
Mm-hmm.
incidents. Just work through it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you wouldn't work on a generality like Dad was abusive.
Mm-hmm.
You work on each particular memory and each
Mm-hmm.
particular piece of the memory.
Mm-hmm.
So we dealt with the broad brushstroke picture first,
Mm-hmm.
but then you told it again, and you remembered more details, and we worked on those details.
Mm-hmm.
And then there might be detail upon detail. You
Mhm.
start to recover, and you can
Mhm.
tap on it and discharge that
Mhm.
that trauma. So you just keep on working at all the details until the whole thing feels totally done
Okay.
for you.
I will work on it. And I have help. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.